Your Excellency, the President, guests of honor, distinguished guests in their various capacities, ladies and gentlemen, a lovely good afternoon. I am Owino Joel, a student of Kitante Hill School and a young, charismatic, candid citizen of Uganda, my nation. Allow me present to you craftiness behind the closed doors. As they say, you cannot move into your tomorrow with unresolved yesterdays. So shall we say, shall we put it this way? Shall we mold it this way that corruption, a vice that has brought curiosity in my mind of what is in front of the closed doors? But shall we put it this way, that corruption, the misuse of power to fulfill one's greed and desires, a vice that has kept us behind the closed doors, indeed due to one's craftiness, desires, and misuse of power, and lack of patriotism, not even a little drop in their hearts. A vice that has emerged and eroded trust in the public sectors. In the education sector, the only of perfection in my country, corruption is paid by the young citizens, and its cost is absenteeism of teachers, due to low wages, delayed salaries, name it all. Take a portion of time and imagine, try to realize and internalize the precious time lost, the time to nurture great warriors and leaders. But when we look at the budget allocations, and then see what's on the ground. According to the financial year 2022-2023, 4.14 trillion Ugandan shillings is allocated to the education sector. And my school is just a dulled up, inferior vibe given to me when I look at it. Crossing to the health sector, the same, absenteeism of doctors, all because of low wages and delayed salaries, name it all. But try to realize and internalize of what the poor innocent patients and their beloved ones go through during this time. But imagine 3.722 trillion Ugandan shillings given to the health sector, and then look at the hospitals now. Give me the money, if not, I will not inject you, is all they say. Mainly the road transport, the greatest achievement in Uganda is the Entebbe Express Highway, the so-claimed expensive roads in the world per kilometer. But do the poor have access to it? According to the budget allocation of the financial year 2022-2023, 4.301 trillion Ugandan shillings is allocated to the works and transport sector. But how many roads have been constructed, and even the attempted are incomplete? Construction companies brought in and out is all we see. But why is it like this? All they say is they ate the money, and all we see is building popping up like mushrooms on an ant-hill, and whose are they is still a question in our minds. Indeed, corruption is paid by the poor, as Pope Francis once said, because it's the poor young citizens in education, the poor innocent patients in the hospitals, and the poor innocent passengers on the roads that are not. But shall we put it this way, shall we say that corruption, a vice that has changed the notion of my nation, needs to be eliminated, but by who? According to the Article 17, Clause 7 of the Ugandan National Constitution, which states that all citizens have a responsibility to fight against corruption. So it's we, through involving citizens, so it's we, the natives of this nation, whether young, old, crippled, disabled, it's we, the citizens. But how are we going to achieve answerability, honesty, and anti-corruption and responsibility? For the good is raging, but the bad is caging. It's through patriotism, the love for one's country and willingness to sacrifice for it. And it's the key for unlocking the doors and the darkness. Thomas Campbell once said that patriot's blood is the seed of the freedom tree, but it needs to be revived. Reviving patriotism is only through inspiration. As they say, you cannot teach one to love, but you can inspire them to love. So it's through the government officials that we shall revive patriotism. Edward Griffin once said that to oppose corruption in the government is the highest obligation of patriotism. For where liberty dwells, there is my country. For countries enforce it, citizens promote it, patriotism defines it. For God and my country, salute all the patriots.